How the fuck is MMA not in the Olympics?
Very true.
And people like,
It's all the sports combined, right? So
I mean, I think MMA should be in the Olympics 100%.
If-
talk about an unbelievable sport that takes everything. What are you talking
but it's
about?
also when you talk
wrestling, boxing, everything.
yeah, of course, we're stating the obvious, but also it's also an international sport.
Yes, correct.
And then people will say, well, that's because you know you can have Volkanovski represent Australia because he's a pro. Well, the NBA does it.
Yeah.
LeBron's a pro. They're in the Olympics. So they could get their own sponsors. Where it gets dicey, this is one of the reasons I don't think Dana and a lot of, maybe not the other leagues, but maybe the UFC doesn't push for it, because think about it. Francis would represent Africa. So you could potentially have Francis versus John Jones on the Olympic platform, and the UFC wouldn't benefit from it. The Olympics would, which is, just so everyone's aware, way more corrupt than the UFC. You want to talk about fighter pay. They pay them fucking nothing. They get zero and they make millions, and it's the biggest fucking scam of all time. So the Olympics would make money. Dana would make money, you know, if John and Francis fought in the UFC, but they're already doing it. So why not do Olympics with MMA? It'd be dope.
100%. 100%.
Russia would do great. All your Dagestanians.
Yeah.
Brazil would fucking crush. China, not with men, but female.
It's great. I'm
Africa.
All about
You'd have you have Kamaru Usman, you have Izzy, depending what
100%.
he could do New Zealand.
100%. It's a great idea.
That's
Great
not my idea. People have been asking for this for a while. But the reason I think
I think
it does,
jiu-jitsu will make it before MMA probably.
it's not. I don't think it's not international enough. I don't think so.
Jiu-jitsu is
No, not compared to MMA. I don't think so.
That's true, actually. That's true. Because it's not like jiu-jitsu is huge in Russia. MMA is big in Russia.
Sambo's big. Yeah.
So they asked Daniel Cormier this question, and he said, if we're doing mixed martial arts at the level of an Olympic sport, you've got to have multiple cages all in one venue. You're going to have to take away any elbows, certain kicks, and you'd have to wear shin guards. But it's not too dangerous in terms of injuries. Why would you take away elbows and some kicks?
Cuts. Oh, I get what he's saying, because yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, 'cause you have to
elbows
fight
and
on.
cuts. Because think about it, you'd have to fight. So because it's a tournament, basically. Olympics is a tournament, no matter how you look at it. So you're gonna have to fight multiple times within a month span.
Yeah.
So if there's elbows and you cut your eye, you're
Not within
out.
a month, Bubba. You'd have to fight multiple times within a 2-week time span, tops. In other words, you because number one, you're dealing with weight loss. Number two, you're dealing with, it would actually have to be over 2 days. And then the bouts would probably be
No, you do go longer than 2 days.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
I
the
don't think
Olympics are longer than 2 days. What are you talking about?
Well, so wrestling, for example, because you're dealing with weight loss, you got to make the weight. So now with wrestling, you have to weigh in twice. So in a way, if you're fighting at 185, right? If it was,
You'd have to
over 2
fight more
weeks,
true to your weight class.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be safer?
yeah.
Not even the weight's not the issue. It's the cut. But
It's
that's
the
what makes
cuts.
it exciting. How dope would that be? Like, Francis out, man, he got cut. Oh, who's feeling it? Like, I think it'd be so exciting.
I don't think you'd have to have 5-minute fights, 4-minute fights. Like you couldn't have 25-minute. You couldn't have 15. It's just too much damage. It's just too much. Too easy to get fucked up. It takes too much out of the fighters. MMA is like, it's not wrestling, man. It's so much
Yeah,
different.
but they have boxing in the Olympics. And then also remember, back in the day, in the UFC, guys used to fight 3 times a night.
Yeah, man.
In kickboxing, in Muay Thai, 3-4 times a night. It's not unheard of. Some places still do it. You could do it.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Commissions get a little weird, but
Yeah.
it'd be tough for you. But also then get guys, because you'd have to, to me, it would be, guys would really have to dial in, like, where am I at where I'm not suffering from the weight cut? So you're getting their true
Well,
potential.
with boxing, how many, is it 3 rounds in boxing in the Olympics?
I think it was 3 twos, because considered amateur. That's why they didn't have
Three
like Anthony
2-minute
Joshua in
rounds?
there.
Yeah. So that you probably do the same thing in MMA.
No, not 3-2. You wouldn't do 2 minutes for MMA.
Comprises of 3 rounds of 3 minutes each.
3 threes.
Yeah. It's still a long time. 9 minutes. It's a long time. A lot of time to get hurt. A lot of time to get cut. A lot of time to break your hand. A lot of time to break your foot. A lot of time for a lot of stuff.
It's a sport, though.
Also get concussed. So, you'd have people, if they had to fight. How many times do you have to fight boxing-wise to get a gold? How many times do they fight?
Probably 4.
It's a lot. I just think MMA you take too much damage. It takes too much out of you.
You saying
Hard to pull
concussion
off.
wise?
Yeah, it's be hard to
Boxing's
pull
more
off.
dangerous.
Yeah, but you got gloves. You got.
Gloves don't matter.
Yeah, but
You also have wrestling in MMA,
yeah.
so it's not just headshots to win.
So what he said?
10 to 12 rounds. It says each boxer will have a total of 10 to 12 rounds to win a medal.
Okay, so with MMA, Cormier said you have to have elbow pads.
No, shin
Gloves,
pads.
shin pads.
He said no elbows.
Taking out elbows.
Right.
And certain kicks have to be eliminated as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So it'd be a watered down version.
What would the
That's-
kicks be?
He didn't get into it. This was just a quote.
DC would know.
Yeah, he would.
We could do a version of it. I think it's bigger than this though, because the UFC wouldn't see profit. The Olympics would make all the profit. We get the fights we want to see, but then the UFC or One Championship or PFL is not going to get profits from it. But also, if you it's so short sighted, because let's say John versus Francis happens at heavyweight, or Tom Aspinall fought John Jones in the Olympics and won gold, it just builds your asset even more. Like gold medal, award winning, and yeah, you beat him in the Olympics, but now we're doing the UFC as the main event. Like it just builds
Right.
the resume. You're just investing in your athlete. I think it'd be dope.
I agree. I agree.
What do you got, Jen?
Oh, since we're on that topic of Francis, I don't know if you guys saw the news.
Yeah,
That
he's
just
fighting.
popped up. So yeah, Francis Ngannou and that crazy guy. You know, actually,
This guy,
Renan Ferreira.
Fiera, problem.
Let me just play the
He's
clip. It's on.
giant. I'll tell you where they're fucking up making a pay-per-view. They're not known as a pay-per-view platform.
But I mean, if they're going to do one pay per view, I would say this is the one to do. Not like before with Kayla Harrison, which she's great, but I didn't think that would be a great pay per view. But let's just watch the promo real quick.
October 19th on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. It's a battle of the giants.
Have you seen this guy he's fighting?
Heavyweight
Huge.
champion of the world, Francis Ngannou, makes his historic MMA return
I'm the baddest mother on the planet.
against the 6'8"
Oh.
Brazilian titan, Renan the Problema Ferreira.
It's a 1-2 good
Jesus.
The two most devastating strikers on the planet in the biggest heavyweight fight of the year.
shot. Problema with the first round finish.
He's so big.
Plus, the GOAT of women's MMA, Chris Cyborg,
Been fighting for a long time.
Chris Cyborg.
takes on lethal two-time PFL champ, Larissa Pacheco.
Lisa Pacheco unloading big time.
She beat Kayla Harrison.
Yeah, that's Kayla's last loss.
Wow. Jesus.
So that's pretty cool. October
Gee whiz.
19th.
How
I
old is
believe.
Chris Cyborg now? She's got to be 40.
54.
Seriously. She's got to be older.
I don't see that doing well.
39.
Yeah, she's 40.
That's pretty.
I don't see that doing well on pay-per-view.
I mean, if they did that for a free fight for the first one, like a huge card like that, that'd be
Introduce
amazing.
fans
yeah.
to the PFL, good production.